Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Against All Odds webinar. My name is Travis Martin. I'm going to be your guest tonight. Thank you for joining us here on this Saturday. If you're new to joining these webinars, I want to welcome you for being here to hear what we have to offer you here today. I think you'll be very impressed with what Against All Odds is, what it stands for, and really the vision that has been put together of what we expect to happen with this company. So if you're here for the first time, sit back. We're going to share a lot of information with you. If you have a pen and pencil, obviously take some notes. We do have a customer support. You can actually email them at support@aaoww.com, and they'll get back with you with any questions that you may have. But, when you start a company, you always want to start with, who's behind it, the founders behind it. And really the visionary is the guy to your far left there, Mr. Dan Putnam. Dan Putnam has been in this industry since February of 1993. That's over 30 years, pretty much his entire adult life, as I know he started in network marketing when he was in college, just doing nothing but focusing on creating the best duplication and the best retention system out there. During his career, he's been a distributor, made millions. He's owns companies and he made millions. And at the end of the day, when all is said and done, he is probably the foremost expert in this industry, literally generating billions of sales in network marketing, as well as paying out, more importantly, billions of dollars in commissions to go along with that. Next to him is our business partner, JC Martinez. I've known JC a few years now. I love working with this guy. He has served in executive roles as well as starting at customer service and for over 15 years in network marketing, but traveling the world, working with millionaires one-on-one with distributors around the world, and just getting to know, what makes them tick, give them the service they needed. But that experience is vital as we grow this company and having that together. And then lastly, there's me, Mr. Travis Martin. I've been in this industry over 26 years. My role has primarily been corporate. I have been part of two of the fastest growing network marketing companies, I think, in the world. We hit 500 million in 3 years. That was back in 96, and at the time in 2002, the first one being Tahish and Noni, and the second one being Zengo. I also started my own company with some partners about 8 or 9 years ago. We took that to 100 million in 3 years. So I've served as an owner and in a corporate executive role, knowing all the way from startup to finish and seeing a lot of magic along the way. And what we decided to do was we wanted to get the best of the best. When you do this industry, when you do any sort of thing, in your career, you have your ups and your downs. Business has ebbs and flows, and you got to have that integrity just to kind of, be strong through the storms. But more importantly, it's not just weathering the storm as it is learning from the storms. And so you take all that information when you've got Dan, you've got JC, you've got me, and then our president, Tommy, has over 20 years of network marketing experience as well. And you put all that together, what we do is we talk about how can we create the best company in the world? How can we create the best things we have learned to create the best duplication and focus on the best retention, which are the two most important things in this industry? So what you see here today are these three individuals who put together a company called Against All Odds. And the name in and of itself says everything about what it is and who we are and what it stands for. It's going against the odds. It's about making the best people that we can out there. And I'm going to tell you how we do that. Dan talks about one of my favorite basketball players in the world. I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm a big LA Laker fan. Kobe Bryant. There's a video out of him where he talks about he created a non-negotiable contract with himself. And what he means by that is when you have a non-negotiable contract, it's something that you will not break. It's a contract you made with yourself. It's keeping your promises that you made of whatever that may be. And that promises is what helps you level up. What's interesting about human nature and humans in general is we are consistent beings. It's that sometimes we're consistently doing the wrong things. And so we wanted to put together some non-negotiable contracts for all of our brand partners, all of our influencers out there, to help them on that journey to create the best network marketers out there, to have the non-negotiable contracts with yourself. We have an app actually that we'll be launching here in a week or so that will allow you to have your 5 non-negotiables that you can check off every day to make sure you're being accountable and getting those done. And, in business, success leaves clues. And when working with literally millionaires in our lives, becoming millionaires ourselves, we've looked at different characteristics that they have. And we wanted to put together 5 different areas of their life, of your life, that if you focus on a daily basis, not a weekly basis, not when you think about it, but on a daily basis, because it's a contract with yourself, these 5 areas of life will improve. In fact, the great thing about it about these 5 non-negotiables. When Dan called me back in February, I was literally on vacation with my family, and called me with this idea of against all odds. When we talked about the product, we talked about these 5 non-negotiables, and on that trip, that's when I realized the biggest asset we can do is to create the most empowered influencers out there in the industry. What we mean by that is we're going to focus so much on the training, so much on your personal development, that we're going to have the best influencers in the world out there talking about a product, out there becoming just better people and better business owners as the weeks, the days, and the years go on. And if you focus on these 5 things, these are things that you will see a development in your life. Number 1 is nutrition. Everyone knows you should be eating right and doing things right, but we're not asking you to change everything about your diet. What we want you to look at is one thing in your life, one part of your diet that you can change. For example, the non-negotiable I've made with myself is I will not have any beverage that has sugar in it. So that's how I've been able to maintain some of my weight, get sugar reduction down in my life. But just that one promise I make to myself every day, which is I will not have a beverage with sugar in it, has allowed me to lose weight. It's allowed me to feel better. It's allowed me to not be having that drag, during the afternoon, but something along those lines. The second thing is physical. Everyone knows that when you have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind, and the healthy mind is really what drives us. So you want to find something physical in your life that you can do every day. And the thing about these 5 non-negotiables, or these contracts that you're making with yourself, is it is not something that you can break. We want you to bite off just enough where you will keep that promise to yourself to become a better person. And of course, as time goes on, you want to increase those promises or increase what you're doing to just expand yourself and to level up. You got to start somewhere. For example, with me, when I first started the 5 non-negotiables, my physical promise was I will exercise a minimum of 30 minutes a day, regardless of where I am, regardless of what I'm doing. And what's great about, the business owners that we're together, we always will keep ourselves accountable to this. And what I was going to say earlier about the February trip when Dan called me was that was when we made our 5 non-negotiables, and we have kept those 5 non-negotiables all the way until today. And all of us have experienced great personal growth during that process. So it's not something that we're preaching that we're not doing. It's something that we've already done, so that when we do talk about this, we know exactly how to explain it, how to get you involved, and then more importantly, how to keep you motivated in doing this. Number 3, personal development. Personal development is underrated. So many times we know we should be doing personal development, and sometimes people will get on a kick and they'll read a book and then they'll put it down and maybe wait a month later, and, oh yeah, I should be doing that. We want you to do personal development every day, whether it's meditation, whether it's book reading, whether it's journal writing, something along those lines, and you will see an increase in how you are with your body, with yourself, and how you show up with others as well. Number 4, finance. In business, you need to have something like finance in your life to make a difference in your personal life, because we all know that money and finances are important to give you the time freedom that you're looking for. And we hope with finance that you will be with our apps that we have, that maybe that's going to be your non-negotiable, that you won't break, that you will use these tools on a daily basis to build your business. And lastly, it's accountability. I remember reading an article in Harvard Business Magazine talking about these fitness trackers that people have, and they did a study on some of the behaviors that people have. What was interesting is those that had Fitbits or Garmin's or these trackers who didn't have accountability, in other words, weren't sharing their activity with other people, tend to not finish what they started. In fact, I think it was a high rate of 80% failure rate. Whereas those that were accountable to other people, they were usually more successful in finishing whatever goal they were set on their fitness tracker. So when we put our app together, it's something that we all can look at and hold you accountable to, because without accountability, you have no responsibility. And we want to give you that accountability so you'll have the responsibility of leveling up your life. As we know, the most important thing in this industry is you. The biggest asset we have in this company is you, the influencer, the brand partner, the distributor. And if we can empower you to become a better person, that just makes the company a bigger, stronger, better company. And that's the reason why you're seeing a big focus on these 5 non-negotiables and the training that you see us having moving forward. Now, we also want to make a promise to you. The company also has non-negotiables. I remember working with Kevin Goldberg when we first started this. Kevin Goldberg is actually one of our top line brand or influencers here in the company. And we had this really conversation, very passionate. I remember him saying, no more are we doing these things. And what he means by that is, how many times have we been involved in network marketing where the company will lose its integrity because they're trying to break a deal or do a deal, or they try to do something that's outside the comp plan. And we will not do these things. That's our promise to you. But also another promise, we found the best way to duplicate is to have just one product. Every company I was a part of that hit 500 million, we had one product, one system. And when everyone's doing the same thing, that's when all the magic happens. When you introduce more products, you introduce confusion, you introduce all sorts of different ways of communicating. And what happens is that communication just gets distorted. And so a lot of people get stuck. What do I do? What do I focus on? With having a single product focus, which is a company's non-negotiable, we will never add more to what we're doing, is to empower you to just focus on one thing, get to know one thing. And what that does for you, when you get to know just one product and you get to know it like the back of your hand, now the personal development side, the recruiting side, the building of your team now becomes a single focus. You can now focus on that without having to stop and educate yourself on other products or other new programs that the company is releasing. The formula will never change. How many times have we been in companies where FDA comes in and slaps something on you and says you have to change your formula? Well, no more of that, because we know that all of our products show up on what's called a GRAS list by the FDA, which means it's a safe list. And these products will also move into any international market as they're all natural without any sort of hiccups based on all of our research that we've done for all the markets worldwide. This will also help you knowing that we will never there will never be changes in the formula, because we know it's accepted everywhere, and it's nothing that's going to force your body to do something that's not supposed to do. And this goes back to the last one, no inserts, my conversation with Kevin of like, no more are you going to work this for 3 years and we get this deal with this big leader and we put him on top and give him your leg as incentive. Like, that's just not going to happen. That is a promise we made to each other. It's a promise we're making to you, because no more of that. In fact, I'll tell you one thing that's interesting. Most companies that lose their integrity, most companies that then compromise what they're doing, actually wind up going out of business because they did leverage their integrity and their honesty, and it always comes back to bite them. That's a lesson that we've seen happen and learned all throughout our careers, and it's something that we promise that we're not going to be doing in the future. Let's talk a little bit about recognition. In today's world, I mean, recognition is key. I remember years in this industry, what people will do for recognition and what people will do just to be recognized for the efforts they're doing. And, I've seen anywhere from incentive trips, which we'll have, but also things from like trophies and plaques and things you can display in your home. Well, we wanted to get a little modern. We wanted to throw in some really good incentives for you to that fit on the modern world, and these things called NFT, which stands for a non-fungible token. These are tokens that are actually found on the blockchain, which means once it's issued to you and it's minted on the blockchain, which it will be when we give it to you, there is no other like that. There will never be another one. It's unique, it's yours, and it will always be yours. But capitalize on this. And the best way that I can explain it is this. An NFT is very similar to like well, this is a bad analogy, but it's the best I can think of. It's like having a baseball card. If you ever collected baseball cards, when you got that rookie card back in 1965 or something like that, and the value of it is today, depends on the value of that player, right? And so imagine being the first NFT of a company against all odds. When you see what we're offering, 10 years from now, 15 years, 20 years from now, how valuable is that unique NFT going to be that you could trade, use, buy, leverage on the blockchain for you? Not only that, we're offering NFTs to keep you incentivized to be ordering each month on AutoShip, for example, or the subscription. It's only a $49.95 commitment when you do that, but every month that you do that, we're going to give you a brand new NFT that will be yours in your wallet that you can use, minted on the blockchain, that you can collect over time. But here's the best part about it. If you do that for 36 months, once again, focusing on retention, we're going to give you profit sharing in the company. If you do it for 48 months, we're going to also we're going to create more profit sharing. And then lastly, 5 years or 60 months, the most that we can give you in profit sharing based off of that. But here's the caveat. If you just miss one of those auto ships during that 3, 4, or 5 years, we're going to be, you would knock yourself out of that. But here's the key also. It's a $49.95 product, and a product that you need on a daily basis as well. Going back to what I was saying about staying on auto ship and keep getting these NFTs, like this is a non-negotiable that we also have with you. If you do miss a month, there is no going back. Like that's a promise and a non-negotiable contract we're making with you to ensure that once again, we're keeping our word and also making those that do keep their word rewarded for doing so. So these are NFTs, they're really cool. In fact, I was on a call just yesterday, actually at 3 o'clock, going over the finalization of having these ready for you. It's really exciting to see that, really cool. I love the branding that we have going on with that, but really, really exciting stuff moving forward. Now let's talk about the product, the single product that really is what everyone needs on a daily basis. What we wanted to do also was to simplify nutrition. As you see, we're simplifying duplication. We're also simplifying nutrition. We wanted to find out the best products out there that gives you the best mineral building blocks for your body. You know, the human body has over 70 trillion cells. And what we want to make sure is that your body is being fed the right nutrients to function properly. You know, there's two states that your body can be in. There's an acidic state, which is a natural way for us to be, and then there's an alkaline state. And we want to create a product that when you wake up in the morning, you have your greens, you have these different blends, I'll go over with you in a minute, to put your body in an alkaline state. Because when your body is in an alkaline state, that is where you remain healthy. Disease cannot exist in an alkaline state. Only it can exist in acidic states. In fact, you can get into an acidic state and start getting all sorts of diseases and your body starts really wreaking havoc on you. And we want to keep you strong and healthy during this whole journey that we do as well. The product will supply those things for you, this alkaline environment. We do also have unique formulas. So it's not just the greens, which we'll talk about. We also have 3 unique blends that we've added to the greens. We have an adaptogen and detox blend. I'll go into detail on all 3 of these after this slide. We have a greens biome matrix blend and the nitric oxide boost blend. So let's talk about the green biome matrix blend. You know, everyone knows that they should be having your greens on a daily basis. I don't know who wouldn't believe that. You know, even when you go to gyms, they have like wheatgrass and they juice it right there on site. And so we wanted to focus on something that people don't get enough of on a daily basis, that you need on a daily basis, which is this greens biome matrix blend. It's 4 different grasses, but it's the process and where we grow them that makes this one of the most unique stories out there in the industry. If you look at that first picture, that's actually my hand. I'm holding what is called the leftover of the juicing process of these greens. What's fascinating about this process is these greens are grown in a place called Delta, Utah. And I'll talk about why Delta, Utah is a unique place. We will always source our products from Delta, Utah, and we will only get it from this one place. And the reason why that is because the soil makes all the difference of the quality of nutrition in the greens that you get. Let me repeat that one more time. The soil makes the difference in the quality of nutrition that you get from the greens that you grow it on. That's true in farming, that's true of any sort of vegetables. You could have something that's 100% organic. It means absolutely nothing if it's not grown in rich soil. It may be organic, not using pesticides, but if the soil is not rich, you're still not getting enough minerals that the soil is supposed to have to feed your body the proper nutrition to put yourself in an alkaline state. So what they do here at this farm is they cut the grass, and then literally on site on the farm, and I've seen this, we got pictures of it. In fact, these are the pictures I took. They take it to this big juicing plant and they juice it. On the far right, you'll see the juicing process. The juice is where most of the nutrients, trace minerals are found, not in the actual cellulose portion of the structure of the grass, but in the juice of the grass. That's the most important part of the nutrient portion of the grass. So they juice it, and then they have a proprietary system that turns that juice immediately into powder at 41 degrees Celsius, which means it maintains the integrity of the nutrition. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, so it's not destroying any of the integrity of the minerals that are found in the juicing process. Now, if you look at the middle screen there, you're going to see basically sawdust or the other competitors, and then you're going to see ours. Look at the difference in the green color. Now, that's also from the soil it comes from, but here's how everybody else does their greens. They will harvest their greens from soil that's probably over-farmed, right? And then they'll take it and they'll bake it. They dry it out, and then they turn it into sawdust, and then you reconstitute it with water. You don't get any of the nutrition that you're supposed to get because you're getting most of the cellulose or the cellulose portion of the plant, not the actual nutrients, because those were dried out during the dry out process. With ours, you're getting the juice turned into powder, turned into your product that you have right there. Now, here's why the soil is the most unique soil that you ever find on the earth. There are two places in the world that have inland seas. You have the Great Salt Lake here in Utah, and you have the Dead Sea in Israel. Why is that important? A Dead Sea basically is an ancient seabed that has been there for hundreds of millions of years, depositing minerals and sediment from the surrounding mountains during rainstorms, earthquakes, volcanic activity, and it's just been sitting there. Delta, Utah is that place. And these farmers actually looked into where the richest soil was, and they found Delta, Utah, and bought up all this land, and they grow these grasses on that land, given the soil, the most rich soil as well. And here's what's another fascinating tip you may not know. The soil in Delta, Utah has only been farmed for less than 50 years. Now compare that to places in China, Australia, like places all over the world, are even just our Midwest. It's been hundreds of years that the soil has been farmed, and but they replace it with all sorts of chemicals. But they don't do that here in Delta, Utah. It's a brand new place. I thought it was interesting when we were talking with this guy, Stuart, who is the manager of the plant. He explained to us that like barley, for example, the roots will go 20 feet down into the soil. What's unique about that is that's where all the minerals have been deposited over, hundreds of millions of years. But even to the point where salt or electrolytes will be sucked up in that soil as well, too, because it used to be an ancient seabed. And so he called it nature's Gatorade. Just the fact that very alone that plant, that grass absorbs 20 feet down all the minerals plus the salt down there, giving you nature's Gatorade, is just a fascinating thing that no one else can claim. And we have that proprietary system for you with this product in our green biome matrix. Now, that's the unique story of the greens. We also wanted to add some adaptogens and a detox blend. Now, the detox formula, we actually have been used before. We know that these herbs, all natural herbs, this detox blend has already sold billions of dollars around the world. We know that. We know the product it is. We took the best of that product, put it in and combined it with adaptogens. Now, here's what adaptogens are very fascinating. If you remember back in, I think it was the 80s, there was that Chernobyl accident in Russia where the nuclear meltdown, and all living plants around that area died. And then they started to, I think it was about 4 or 6 months later, you started to see some growth back in that area. And so there was a doctor, Dr. Breckman, who was a Russian scientist, said, well, what's going on here? And he started studying these plants, and he found a molecule called adaptogens that what they do is they adapt to the environment to give life another chance. In other words, if you take this out, its job is to change the DNA or change the way your body behaves in a bad environment to allow you to adapt to that environment. The studies have shown all sorts of crazy, like, for example, its purpose is to put you in homeostasis. So if you have high blood pressure, it's been known to lower blood pressure. If you have high insulin, it's been known to lower insulin levels. Just fascinating stories on that whole, on the story of adaptogens, which is that one blend that we've added to the greens that I just explained it to you. The other blend we want to talk about is our nitric oxide boost blend. This is also fascinating. In fact, I got some notes on this. I want to make sure I get them all. But in 1998, a Nobel Prize was awarded to 3 scientists for their study on nitric oxide. What they found is when they found 2 amino acids present in your body, L-arginine and L-citrulline, your body, when combined with oxygen, will create nitric oxide. Now, why is that important? The studies that they won the Nobel Prize on showed that nitric oxide present in your blood actually reverses heart disease. Now think about heart disease is the #1 killer in the world for both men and women. So if you have nitric oxide present in your body, imagine what you're doing to your heart. It's obviously the best heart health product you will ever have. But what makes ours unique is we have the one pathway, which is traditional, the L-arginine, the L-citrulline combined with oxygen. But when your body is low on oxygen, then what do? Well, we have a proprietary second pathway that we've worked out with a doctor included in this blend. So you now have 2 avenues that your body is producing nitric oxide, giving your body the best chance to survive and to reverse heart aging. Now, obviously, we cannot say that our product reverses heart aging, but you can say all day long that nitric oxide will reverse heart disease. Now, we've also included a very important blend, which is the Optimum Nutrition Absorption Booster. This allows for the optimum absorption of your body. A lot of times when we have these nutrients in our bodies, we need some absorption boosting so our body can absorb the most amount in our cells than to just a portion of it. Sometimes we expel it, or we don't have, maybe there's too much in one area. These three things that you'll see there allow for your body to absorb at a maximum level rather than at a minimum level. And we're actually going to teach you how to test that. With every order, you're going to get 4 of these active green strips. If you look at the one on the left and the one on the right, the difference that you'll see is the pink little stripe there at the top. The one on the left is before, or actually before you've taken the product. What we want you to do with the 4 strips, before you drink the active greens, which is right here, before you drink that, what we want you to do is to test your nitric oxide levels. You put it in your tongue. We did this with all the people who originally came in to hear about our products when we first got in, but this is a great test you'll want to try. But it'll come back white more than not, because usually nitric oxide is not present in your body because you're not consuming enough L-arginine or L-citrulline to combine it to create nitric oxide to reverse heart aging. But so we want you to test it, drink the product, just wait about 5 to 20 minutes later, and then test it again, and it'll turn pink, showing you that nitric oxide is present in your body. And then we got 2 more strips because we want you to try that in week 3 and then also in week 4. So you can always be sure that the nitric oxide is present in your body if you're drinking this on a daily basis. Now let's talk about the business side. We just talked about some really unique things, the NFTs. We talked about the blends. We talked about the greens. You really have one of the best products out there on the market. This is years and years of our experience coming together, putting together what we feel is the best product out there that the most people need all around the world. Now, this is not just like a diet or weight loss or a certain area. This is something on a daily nutrition that everyone should be having. So what we now wanted to do is put a comp plan that complements that product. So people can get involved and actually create a residual income with that. But we understand that not everyone focuses on residual. We get that. Not everyone's into network marketing or MLM. So we wanted to put together a really aggressive retail model. Now, let me tell you a little background on the retail model. Retail models are very strong. The challenge you have with retail models is you don't have residual, or you don't build team, and it's limited versus unlimited. And I'll talk about that in the matrix comp plan in the next slide. But right now in retail, we put together a very aggressive retail model so that you can make money just on the retail level. But going back to the story I was going to share with you, when I was with Tahitianoni, my job was to put their catalogs together. This was back in the day before online sales, right? It was back in 96, 97. And they had this catalog program very similar to Mary Kay. In fact, they sent me to what's called a DSA conference, Direct Selling Association conference. And I sat there and I listened to the Mary Kay presentation. Now, if you guys are familiar with Mary Kay, they're over a 40-year-old direct sales company, and they do billions of dollars of sales continually for the past 40 years. Just an amazing business model. But what was interesting about their presentation was they said to the audience, and I took notes on this and always remembered it, which is they don't necessarily focus on just building networkers. What they focus on is getting customers. In fact, the ratio they had at Mary Kay was for every brand partner or every consultant, there were 10 customers. And the model worked like this: go out and get 10 customers. And the stats show us that 1 out of 10 of those customers are going to say, how do you do this? How do I start this program? And that's when you talk to them about the residual side. So we wanted to give you a way that you can make money really fast on the retail side for those that aren't ready for the network marketing side. But once they see your success, obviously we want them involved into start building unlimited income versus limited income off retail sales. But here's some really cool numbers that you'll like on these retail sales. So first of all, if you were to have a retail sale and it was not on subscription, it would cost your retail customer $59.95. You would get paid 50% of that, or $30 in your pocket off that one sale. But what's even more cool is your sponsor is going to make another $10 off that sale. Now, if that distributor or that customer goes on subscription, which is what you really want to push, because that does have a longevity to it when they put their credit card on file and every month it can be charged, that's going to be a $49.95 or a $10 discount just by going on subscription, but you're going to get $25. And once again, your sponsor will also get $10. Now, the retail model, the retail sales that we're talking about is all through the sponsor tree. It is not in the matrix. So this is very separate. The retail model goes through just your sponsor tree. It doesn't go through the spillover or anything that you'll find in the matrix compensation plan. Very important part to remember. We will also pay 50 cents and $1 up to $1 through 10 levels in the sponsor tree for retail sales. So think about that. If you build a large organization all the way 10 levels deep, not only are you getting all the residual from the matrix, which we'll go over next, but you're also getting still retail profit, whether it's 50 cents or $1 through 10 levels, which is unbelievable and really fat and just amazing for you to get. So really aggressive on the retail side. Once again, it's a great way to introduce people to the business without having to tell them, all of a sudden you just have to say, here's the business side. You can actually just get them on the product and make retail sales off that. And then slowly, if they're ready for it, talk about the number. This, once again, this comes from experience that we've had in this industry. Another important thing on the customer side we want you to know is we also give credits for every time a retail product is made, a retail purchase is made. So your retail customer, when they purchase 3 times, are going to get their 4th one free. It's buy 3, get 1 free. So if they buy 3 months in a row, that 4th month is going to be free. And they have these credits that they earn in their back office that you'll be able to let them know. They have their own limited back office, I should say, but getting these tokens that they can go in and redeem for their free product. But once again, 3 gets free for the retail customer. So very good, aggressive, and very complementary retail sales model that we have for those that are interested in only just the retail side. This is the $10 customer bonus I was sharing you about. Now let's talk about the matrix side. Now the matrix side, this is the unlimited residual side of it. This is where you want to be involved in the business. You've got your partners. You want to say, look, let's just build the most amount of unlimited income that we can create. What we want you to focus on is focus on getting just 3 personally sponsored influencers. That's it, just 3. And if those 3 sponsor 3, you have what is called a $100 minimum check. Now, why is that important? One thing we've noticed in this industry is that the one thing that keeps people in business is when they're profitable. This is true of any business. So we want to make sure that your $49.95 investment into your business is guaranteed once you've duplicated 3 who get 3, guaranteeing you $100. Now that $100, what that mean for you? It means it's going to keep you interested in doing and building your business, to keep on working every day, to know that you're moving somewhere and that your product is paid for and you're still getting a little bit of money each month to build your business and to build your organization. There's a lot more other benefits that we're going to show you here about the matrix as well. Now, if you don't know what a matrix is, it's one of the most simple comp plans out there. It's like a unilevel, but it doesn't allow you to have a massive front line. It drives volume down, and that's what you want to do, because actually there's called spillover, and people will you'll start filling your matrix and volume goes up to people who you didn't even sponsor. It's actually a really good way to build teamwork. It also produces the most amount of checks. And I'll talk about why that's important here, not on this slide, but the next one about our matching bonuses. So here's the power of 3. If you just focus on 3 people who get 3 people, you can see on the left here side how those numbers look. You got 3, 9, 27, all the way to the last level at over 88,000 different individuals on your team. Now, when you turn that over to just if just one person is purchasing $49.95 on a product you need every day, when that matrix is full at 88,000, look at over there on the right-hand side. You're making over $300,000 a month simply on a $49.95 product on one simple concept: 3 who get 3. Now, we're not asking you to build 88,000. It's interesting how I talked about these 5 non-negotiables. We want you to take a step at a time, The most success you'll find is if you focus on one step at a time. And it's interesting. I've seen so many people that get so excited, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to build the biggest thing out there. And that's good, but you have to focus on the small things first to get the large things. And so if you just focus on the 3 who get 3, that is what, if you duplicate that over and over and over again, that is what's going to fill your matrix. And that is what's going to get you to that over $300,000 a month income. But here's even the best part about it. As I mentioned before, there's three compensation plans that you'll see in this industry. You have you have a binary, which pays the least amount of checks. You have a unilevel, which pays some, but it's very limited. In fact, there's a lot of problems with the unilevel as far as people maxing out and cutting people off. And then you have the matrix that creates the most amount of checks. So why is that important? It's important that we have, it's called check match. You'll be able to match up to 5% through 10 generations, through infinity. Now, I'll explain what that means. So you will get a 5% check match on your organization through infinity until you hit, it's called your first generation, which is your first 4-star. So when someone hits the rank of a 4-star, that's your first generation. But then you get paid on a second generation, which is all the way down to the next 4-star. all the way down to 10 levels. Now, I don't know if you know how deep 10 levels is, but it's pretty deep. I've never seen a compensation plan that has check matched that deep. And so really giving you, I think, some of the largest checks that you'll ever see in this industry made. And this goes back to, once again, conversations we had of what we've seen work in compensation plans, what we've seen not work in compensation plans. When you combine this matrix with an aggressive retail model, you have the best of both worlds to allow people who focus on retail to make a lot of money, allow you to do retail and matrix. In other words, you can be profitable. As we mentioned, you sell just one product. On retail, it's $25 or $30, depending on if they come on a subscription or not. But as you build your residual income with the tools that we're going to provide you, this is where you see the mass duplication on a single product focus. So there's a three-step system we want you all to be familiar with. Number one, you get started for $49.95. There's no membership fee. There's no gotchas. There's no buy a pack to, the huge pack to get going. It's literally $49.95 to get going. What you want you to do is share this information with as many people as it takes to get 3 influencers. You may get 5 customers along the way, but you do want to focus on getting 3 influencers who understand the residual, who understand the business, so that they can now start building residual for your team as well, but also focusing on retail sales if they want to. And then help those 3 influencers with steps 1 and 2. I know that seems simple, and it's a lot. It is that simple. That's the whole point of putting together a single product company, is a single focus, so you can focus on the marketing tactics that we're going to be supplying for you. We have an app called Penny App that allows you to, it'll literally tell you what to do on a daily basis. We have an app, the 5 non-negotiable app, that also literally keep you honest with yourself to make sure that you're also leveling up as an individual. Once again, focusing on the brand partner or the influencer as the biggest asset of this company. And we want to see our influencers become some of the best people in the world, because when you have the best people, you have the best company. And you do that by helping them level up. And that's the whole purpose of having our 5 non-negotiables with a single product influence or a single product company out there for duplication. But if you just do that model 2 more times, which is 3 who get 3, you're going to earn a check just in the matrix for over $2,000. Now, here's where it gets great. If you duplicate these steps 4 more times, you're going to be earning over $300,000 a month just in the matrix. Now, this isn't included all the other things we're going to be talking about, like the retail, which I told you is a sponsor tree. And with all the matching bonuses, we believe that you'll be close to over $400,000 in commissions if you just follow that 3-step system. That's the power that we have put together with a single product focus, with a price point that everyone can participate, not only just here domestically in the United States, but all over the world. It's a price point that most countries can relate to and invest in, and would make a difference for them as they grow this business. But then you throw in a product that everyone needs. Now you have the best of everything coming together. So that is the end of the presentation. There is one more portion of here. We haven't got into details yet. It's called coding. It's another way to earn money. Basically, it's coding and train the trainer. We have more information on that coming out on August 22nd when we launch the company. So be prepared to also see that other way of making money. It's a way that, once again, we turn not only our individuals into better people, but also teach them how to train and to train their people as well too. But you might as well make some money off of that training as well. It's not mandatory. It's purely something, if you want to do it, it's there for you to level up if you can. But this whole mission that we're doing together, and I want to make it very clear before I get out of here, is to create a company that allows for the most success for the most people who get involved. I'm not here trying to say, look, if you just buy $1,000 pack and duplicate it, we showed you a retail model. We showed you a way to do recognition with our NFTs, which actually will create some more income for you on the blockchain as this company grows and matures. But a product that's unique, a product formula that no one else has, that's ours, source from one area of the world that we will never source it from anywhere else. A company that's making a contract with you that we will not do inserts, we will not do deals, that whatever you come in now is the position you're going to have for now and always, and you want to keep that position forever. And at $49.95, we don't see a reason why you would ever cancel, because this is a product that you're going to need on a daily basis. And that's really years and years of experience coming together to give you, those that come and join us and lock arms with us, to become the most successful person you've always wanted to become. A lot of the conversations that we've had behind closed doors is, we hope, And we know that we will see people become better people along the way. And what we hope for is that if you ever do leave against all odds, and if you ever find that you want to go somewhere else, which is just fine, we hope you leave a better person. And we hope you leave with a good feeling in your heart that you've done some amazing things with yourself and with your business, and that you can take it to the next level. Those are the things that we're focusing on, is how do we create the highest retention and the highest duplication? Because those are the two things you need to grow your business. And so you take all that years of experience and all the things that we've seen over all the years, you put it all together and you execute on all that, it gives you the best chance of success to really believe in something and to really move forward with something. I'm excited to be working with every one of you. I'm excited to get to know you. I'm excited to get this 5 non-negotiable app going, and we get to work with each other on that. But this is a really good opportunity. You know, a lot of people want change in their life, but you cannot have change without the opportunity to do so. At a $49.95 price point, we want to give this opportunity not only to you right here at the beginning of this call and beginning of this company, but we also want to do it to everyone around the world. Give everyone a chance and opportunity to make those changes, to agree to 5 non-negotiable contracts with themselves, to participate in all the residual income, the retail sales that we have, to create the best way for you to be successful. So with that, I'm going to sign off. We're going to be here again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We're doing this all the way until August 22nd. Until August 22nd, they're free signups. All you got to do is get with a sponsor and get enrolled. You got your position forever. We will never do inserts. We're never going to put someone on top of you. It allows you to guarantee that the position you get is going to be yours for life, and you never have to be worried about it being compromised. But now's the time to build. Now's the time to get those numbers in, because it's easy to say, look, get in now, join this call, listen to this call, hear what this company is all about, and just get involved. And then August 22nd is when we're going to start hitting those cards. We're going to allow for people to sign up on AutoShip. But from now until August 22nd is the best time and the best momentum that you're going to have to build. So with that, I just want to thank you all once again for joining with me here tonight. I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night as well. Really good opportunity and good time to spend with you. So thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow night.